Another day, another video. Welcome back to the channel, everybody. Today we are watching Pretty Little Lies Original Sin. This episode 6 of season 1. Hopefully you guys have been enjoying the series so far. So it's been a week since the last episode, and we're going to have to do a little recap and try and obviously remember what went on. From memory, I remember that obviously Imogen threw a house party. She was trying to raise money on Halloween to cover a down payment for the mortgage for her mum's house. She's struggling to let it go, isn't she? And she wants to recover those costs, and she wants to obviously still live there and own it. It's a family home. She's been there ever since she was a kid. She's got an attachment. Totally get it. Very interesting that A has a chest in the basement. We see him go down there in the episode, take his mask off. We didn't see him physically take it off, but we seen a change in transition of mask, and instead of the one that I'd currently been wearing, swapped it over, was walking around the party. Nobody knew obviously that he was there. So during this party, very interestingly, Tyler, one of the guys that's Greg's friends, was kind of like antagonizing Tabitha. You know, she was like they ended up kind of like arguing. She ended up clocking him and punching him, and he ended up going upstairs and obviously like rinsing his nose out in the bathroom. Then he went to the toilet as he was going for a wee. Boom, A come in. Ended up killing him. You know, he grabbed him, strangled him, wrapped the shower curtain around his neck, picked him up, and then obviously dragged his body out to his car and threw it inside. So that was mad, mate. I didn't expect somebody that wasn't part of the girl's family / you know, like relationship group to be attacked, but that's the first one that we've seen, and obviously can't wait to see obviously what the story's going on with that. Speaking of the girls, mate, Mouse had an interesting story going on last episode. Not too sure I followed it absolutely correct. If I'm being totally honest, I'll hold my hands up. I'm trying to think whether it was her, like, you know, like she's got two parents, two females. I don't know whether she's like feeling that the absence of a dad, so like she's online talking to men and she's going around, and I don't know, like she went and had breakfast and she went trick-or-treating with like a dad figure, and he was holding her hand and he was taking her around. I don't know whether like she's trying to get that father figure, or, which I was kind of leaning towards in the episode, I don't know whether she was trying to be a kid to the fathers that had lost their children. That's what I was kind of swaying towards in the episode. I felt like she was trying to be nice and do acts of kindness to people that maybe have lost a child, and she was pretending to obviously be that, and he was kind of like role playing. I thought it was really interesting. Like I said, they went trick-or-treating, he was holding a hand, they had pancakes and waffles and all this stuff, and then she obviously went to the party. When she come home, her parents were sat there, they was fuming. She stayed over, you know, and obviously she turned the phone off. They didn't know where she was. She ended up having like an argument with them and saying, look, mate, you know, we can't hold on to the past. What happened to me, and I'm moving on. Now, I don't know what she's talking about there, but again, another interesting bit of her story that's being revealed that we're going to have to find out what it is. And then obviously if we talk about obviously like interesting bits of story being released, we had Tabitha and Imogen sat on the end of the bed at the very end of the scene. And he was talking how maybe Tabitha was maybe attacked in the woods or something at the bonfire. That's why she was kind of arguing with Tyler. She hates him and Greg. And Imogen was saying that something's happened to her as well. So very interesting. You know, the storylines are progressing really well. There's loads of character building. There's loads of backstories, and there's loads of potential. I'm not going to lie. We've got a long way to go, and I'm excited to find out everybody's, you know, like path and where we're going. So thanks for checking out today's episode. Hopefully you guys enjoy it. If you do, please smash a like. It really helps out. Subscribe if you're new. And as always, let's jump into today's episode.
It happened over the summer. I was working at the Orpheum with Chip. This group of kids from school came in one night.
Starting straight away what I just said.
They said that there was a bonfire party happening later that night. It was a good time at first, but then things took a turn. I remember thinking I needed to get home, so I started walking. Next thing I knew, I was on the ground. Then he was on top of me.
Was it Tyler?
He was on a family vacation that same weekend, so it couldn't have been him. I don't know who it was.
I don't know who it was either.
It's happened to her as well.
And
Mad.
I remember even less. Tomorrow after school, would you come with me to see this potential source? Remember he called and said he knew Angela and our moms?
Definitely.
See, right, Monday. We love cycling through the week, don't we, each episode? It's interesting with that because, yo, admitting it, well, not admitting it, expressing something like that happened to you is hard. Currently, I'm watching 13 Reasons Why. Now, obviously, that show's ended and I'm late to the party, but that's what we're doing on the channel. So, obviously, if you've not seen it, check it out. We're on season 2 right now. And obviously, season 3 and Think 4 will be coming. But on there, Jess is currently going through this same situation. Bryce has raped her. She's found that information out. She's struggling. At the end of season 2, she managed to muster up that courage, and she's finally, obviously, told the police, and Bryce has been arrested. So that is where we currently are on the channel. But what I'm saying is, it's more common than you think. It's mad, isn't it? You know, like, to me, that's far-fetched. It's alien. That would never cross my mind. I don't understand it. I don't understand how people's brains work. How's that acceptable? I don't get it. And, like, if anybody is watching this thinking that that's not bad, that is bad, mate. And you should never do something. Like, it might sound so obvious for somebody, like, yeah, obviously it's bad. But it's not obvious, is it? Because some weirdos do it. So if you ever think something's so clear and it's so straight and narrow and, like, why would anyone do that? God knows, there's mad people out there. Especially if you go into a woods like that. She was saying, she went there, she was on her own. She walked off into the dark. Woke up, someone's on top of her. That is mad, and I do feel sorry for her. Now, I'm thinking about what's happened to Imogen. She didn't express what happened, but it's making me think that, imagine that happened to her, but she got pregnant. How crazy is that? How crazy is that? We've found out that, all we've heard is that he was a lifeguard or something. Another bit of information. Where is there? Where was she? Was she an older? You know, was she living somewhere else? Who knows? But imagine that crazy stuff. You know, somebody done that to her, and she's got a baby from it.
I was wondering, Ms. Clark, if you could add some fabric to my corset.
I could add a mesh panel.
Thank you, Miss Clark. I was out of line saying all those things to you.
You should know, Farron. I told Sherry about all the crazy shit you spewed at me. She was ready to throw you out of Swan Lake. The only reason you are still here is because I told her not to.
Will they ever let you out again?
Actually, I think so. We're working on trust.
I was thinking us bowling. Millwood Lane to Cosmic Hour at 7 o'clock. Would that be cool?
Yeah, that would be cool.
Great.
Sandy fractured her foot during an indoor trial. Her spot is yours if you want it.
I've just got too much going on at home right now. But spring semester, I'm all yours.
I wonder why her mum's so far away and why we're focusing on this place, you know what I mean? Oh, it's just showing that A can get to you from anywhere.
Because we're all getting our first initials in this style. Right here.
She's going to be fit.
friend
I knew
Angela's.
it. I knew it. Why are you all bullying her? It's actually pissing me off.
Vaseline, twice a day.
Corey?
Oh, guys. Oh man, it stresses me out. It actually does stress me out, man. Like I can't stand it. Like I literally can't stand it. I feel well sorry for that Angela. I actually do, man. Like she's getting bullied, but not being bullied. Like she's, to me, it's bullying. Like they're doing stuff, but they're not doing stuff. Like they're telling her to do the things, and then they don't do it. Yeah, throw the shit out that door last episode. Drove off. Yeah, we're all getting a tattoo, but they don't. That's bullying, and I don't understand. Wow. Again, I don't know if it's my personality, but how's that funny? Like, I literally don't get it. I don't get how any of them are funny. Like, I literally look at it and think, I feel tight on Angela. And do you know what? Yeah, I want all the parents to get killed. Nah, I don't. But I wouldn't mind anyway. Like, if the more their stories progress, yeah, and the more if they're bullying her all episode, and then it turns out that episode 1, Angela was coming in a distress thing, needing help, like she was suffering or something was happening to her. Do you know what I mean? And they all turned away, and then she ended up dying. Do you know what I mean? Like they all deserve something to happen to him. Like literally, it's crazy.
To be honest, I wasn't even sure you'd like dancing.
What?
I don't like the politics and pettiness around ballet, but the actual dancing, the purity of that, I love it.
You were dancing when you were 8?
My mother had me in a tutu when I was 6. When my first ballet teacher noticed the curve in my back, my mom couldn't get me to a doctor fast enough.
Does it ever hurt?
That is a good question,
Nothing I
actually.
can handle.
Oh, so she might still be in pain. That's mad.
I should get home.
You Imogen?
Joseph?
Crazy Joe.
Crazy Joe.
Come inside. Mom pays me to keep an eye on the derelict cars, to make sure no one burns them.
You said you knew Angela Waters.
I was in love with her. We didn't date or anything, but we were fellow misfits. I tried to warn her about those girls, but she ignored me. And look what happened to her.
What about her family? Do you know anything about them?
Her mother. That was her only family after Angela was found. Rose snapped. They took her away. to an asylum, the Radley Sanitarium.
Thinking about our moms, the quote-unquote she-bitches. Without a doubt. My mom said they tried to help Angela. Maybe that's what Crazy Joe meant by adopting her?
Do you know what? That's a place that I have not heard of or thought of in years, mate. Radley. Do you know what I mean? As soon as that name came up, I was like, flashbacks, mate, to the original show. They spent a hell of a lot of time there, weren't they? Good. It's good stuff.
Heard she punched Tyler in the face.
Right in the nose. And he must have been hell embarrassed because I haven't seen him at school since. It's not like we're cheating on her. Karen's gone.
Don't you miss her?
It's kind of like seeing her in
We
you.
both do, right? That's why we kissed at the party, isn't it?
Maybe I don't.
That's
Maybe
savage.
Always wanted you.
Stop! Stop! Just stop! You better be at Swan Lake, front and center, with flowers.
Now goodbye, Greg.
Yo, like, I'm thinking it's Kelly me. Oh. Big man's there.
Tell me why you turned down a spot on the track team?
My mom got fired for stealing drugs. So I need to be here for her. At home to keep her busy, make sure she stays clean.
No, all you've wanted was to get back on that team. Haven't you given up enough for her?
Sean.
You know the rules, Steve. One encounter. That's it. I did it to give you one more memory with Rachel. And you have to be okay with that.
Thank you again.
Bye, Steve.
My mom loves being a nurse. Is there anything you can do?
I'm gonna give Kathy a call. We'll see if anything can be done.
Is there any universe in which creepy train guy is A?
Absolutely.
Except for the fact that he didn't try to kill us, but definitely a person of interest.
Moms are all connected to whatever happened to Angela Waters, which we think is why A's targeting us.
I have a bowling date with Ash.
Oh my god, he's like a teen Cole Sprouse. I am so shipping this.
Cole
Ash needs to be
Sprouse.
canon.
Do you know what, right? Mouse reminds me of Miranda Cosgrove. A little bit. I just like, just the personality. To be honest, looks a little bit as well. They do look massively different, I'll acknowledge, but she does remind me of a little bit. And I still think that, you know, what is it? Imogen was in the Drake and Josh film. Sure of it. Absolutely sure of it. Could be wrong, though. But again, it's interesting there. The parents are heavily involved, and, you know, they're making not like a big deal of the Swan Lake thing tomorrow, but, you know, we had Kelly talking to Greg and saying you better be there with flowers tomorrow, front and centre, and he's just said, mate, the dancer, you know, like my mum's going to be here, obviously this talent person, and you guys, I want you here front and centre as well, so maybe something's going down in the next episode.
Nurse Simmons called the hospital and they're willing to hire you back if you go to rehab for 30 days.
I'm doing good.
Mom, that's just not true. My whole life, I've never known you not to be on some kind of drug.
This isn't how it's supposed to be. I'm the one that's supposed to be holding this family together.
Let's both do it.
Ms. Bryant, you favor your left side.
She has scoliosis.
I'm even more impressed.
They have cucumber water. That's how you know it's fancy.
We're students at Rosewood High doing a history project on the town.
And we were assigned Radley. There wasn't much information online.
A person I could direct you to is Eddie Lamb. Eddie won't be in until tomorrow morning.
Would you mind giving us his phone number?
We don't give out our employees' personal contact information.
Isn't it?
I just held a rather lucrative fundraiser. Cash okay?
This bed feels like a marshmallow!
Chocolate covered strawberries.
Oh, they're the one, mate. Hugh Hefner style, mate.
Well, can I help you with something?
Yeah. Do you have any idea how badly you're hurting your daughter's life right now? Letting her take the fall for your drug habit? If you care about Noah at all, stop dragging her down before it's too late.
What we're saying about that, like, literally, what are we saying? His intentions was good, but, like, if I was Noah, I'd be fuming me. One, like, you got to respect that his interests are to help Noah, but you've got to look at it as, like, I won't want anyone talking to my mum that way. Even it wasn't that bad, but, like, I still wouldn't want anyone talking to my mum the way he just did. And, like, regardless of what he said was true or not, it's my place to tell my mum that. Do you know what I mean? And I don't know. I wouldn't like it anyway. If my girlfriend or like boyfriend or whatever come and spoke to my parents like that without my permission and revealed information that she told him in secret. Do you know what I mean? Did Noah tell you that? Do you know what I'm saying? Like, I wouldn't be happy with it. So, You know, also going back to the Farron situation, yeah, when she said that she's got scoliosis in the back, I've never understood why that was so hush hush, quiet. Even a teacher was like that when they brought Farron into the office. Oh, if they find out, mate, who cares? Like, what if I was 5 years old and I snapped all my legs and I had a wheelchair and couldn't walk for 7 years, and then he ended up getting out of it and being a good runner? You think that like a track person's gonna care? You know, like, oh yeah, he broke his legs like when he was younger. Well, what, can I run a mile in like 6 minutes? Yeah, I can. So what's your problem? Do you know what I mean? Like, it just shows that where you come from and where you've gone, the growth that you took and the effort that you put in.
From when you took your first baby steps, I knew it. My little girl's gonna be a star. It did make me think, though, now that you're older, maybe it's time we take care of that scar. I found a plastic surgeon here in town.
Who cares about the scar?
Not surgery again, Corey.
If he can get rid of it, it would be one less thing to worry about. One less asterisk by my name.
So long as it's what you want.
Yeah, I was gonna say that. If she wants to, then that's
why I
fine.
went ahead and made you an appointment for tomorrow morning.
I haven't been this comfortable in like 7 months. I hear ya. I was gonna go out and explore, see if I could find a movie theater or bookstore or something.
Do it.
Go!
So sweet. So
Whoa, that is creepy now. Vibe's gone.
Did you see that one? I'm suddenly starving. Will you get us some nachos? What the hell are you doing here?
Enjoying a little cosmic bowling?
I'm not your real daughter. I'll never be her. I wanted to help you, to comfort you, but now that's over.
Mouse, what's up? Who's this?
I'm Mouse's dad.
Oh.
She's been starving now.
Yo, the vibes are well weird and awkward. That's full on, that, innit? So it is full on confirmed that she was helping him out. You know, last episode, I was like I said in the intro, I was trying to figure out, you know, like if it was her or if it was him. She was doing it obviously in the comfort of her own heart and being a nice person. Why though? That's a big question. Why? Why? Now I understand you could say being a good person, but it's mad, innit? Mate, she's in school. Did she say she was 15 as well? Like, it's well young. And like him following her, that is so weird. And he giving off weird vibes. I don't know. I liked watching that scene, but didn't like it as well. It's like uncomfortable. Do you know what I mean? Like it was interesting to watch, but like weirded me out at the same time. And now she's gonna come and get absolute pelters off her mum when she don't even know what's happened.
You've been lying to me. Sean dropped by for a visit, okay? And not only did he say that you told him everything, he then gave me an earful on how much of a burden I am to you. I got a job. What? At Pinball Pizza. That way I won't be bothering you. You don't have to concern yourself with me. Ever. Again.
It's actually like a little baby, ain't she? I'd be like, you're supposed to be the man, mate, not a little mad ass. Ezra's books, mate. Yo, I'll be well interested if Ian Harding's in this. Just for a little cameo.
Where are you from? You don't go to Rosewood. I would have noticed.
Millwood.
You want to grab a cup of coffee? And
Guys,
I
come
can
right in,
give
though.
you the tour.
Slow down.
What is everyone's intentions, man? Hey, that was good. That was fucking well good, that.
Read my book.
Hey, you wouldn't happen to know Eddie Lamb, would you?
I am swaying on the side. This is Kelly. Yeah, I knew it, mate. I knew when he heard in that party that he was...
Henry?
Oh, look at him going for it. He looks like a different guy. There's a body type. Oh. Yeah, good reactions, that Kelly. I wonder if she's chatting shit. I don't know, man. Because she would know that it's best to say that she's Kelly. I mean, I'm actually saying it's Kelly. I just said it a second ago. Yo, mate. That was sick, wasn't it? Let's be honest, that's really good. Now, I know that like when shows get re-released, kind of like they get better hate. You know, it's not really released in the UK yet, so I can't really judge the reaction of everybody and how everybody's feeling. And obviously, we've not stuck it on the YouTube yet, so I don't know. Obviously, the comments. I'm still in episode. What is this one? 6. I've not even released episode 1 yet. You know, we're still waiting for them to be released before I do the season on YouTube. So I still don't know the vibes. I'm hoping that people don't actually dislike this show because I actually enjoy it. You know, as what it is, with a couple of nostalgic, you know, like little bits of connections to the past and similarities. I'm enjoying it. I think it's entertaining. This Kelly Karen thing is well good. In my personal opinion, it's fantastic. Like, you know, I'm still guessing. I've settled with Kelly, to be honest. I have done. In different, I always drop on the Karen side when Farron starts talking, because she starts making loads of good points, and I'm like, oh yeah, that is good. That does make sense. Oh, it could be Karen, yeah. But like when I just watch a Kelly situation and a Kelly scene and just a story and just her being her, I mean, yeah, that's Kelly actually. So I don't know, but that's good story writing in my opinion, tossing and turning constantly. Now this is interesting because I could flip it and say, well, if Karen knew that Karen was supposed to be killed, and now they're thinking it might be Kelly, then the best way to get out of not being killed again, if you are Karen, is to say you kill her because you knew that Karen was the first one that should have been killed. If that makes sense to you, hopefully it does. But it's very interesting, and that's exciting. I knew it when she said it at the party. It wasn't her actually. Was it Farron that said it? He was listening, and then he was thinking, "Oh, did I kill the right one?" Mad mate.
How was your night in? Unexpectedly productive.
Oh? I spoke with Eddie Lamb. I asked him about Mrs. Waters, and he's meeting us for breakfast tomorrow.
Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday.
But I'm not having the surgery. Surgeries. Listening to him go on and on. How the pain will be acute, but mostly tolerable. And all I could think was, is this what I even want? Will this
Exactly.
make me happy?
Of course it will.
Don't
You'll be
like
that
her.
much more beautiful.
You're gorgeous and strong, but that scar.
So what if I have a scar? If I can live with it, why can't you?
Everything I've done has been for you.
Was my surgery even necessary?
Of course it
Oh,
was.
imagine it wasn't.
The doctor said it was something you had to have.
And it's my body, Mom, mine. And you need to be okay with that, or not.
That was deep. You know, I don't like her mum. Said it loads of times this episode. So, you know, if you didn't know, didn't like her. And like, and like you say, mate, everything I've done for you. Well, did I ask for it? Did I want it? Does it mean just because you've done something, it was beneficial? Do you know what I'm saying? I could do something for somebody every single day, and they'd be like, yeah, but I don't want it. So why are you doing it? Well, I'm doing it for you, can't you see? Well, yeah, I can see it, but you're doing it for you, really, not me. You're doing it because you think that I want it, and that's not what I want.
Why did you keep working here after the Radley turned into a hotel?
They offered me a job to help with the transition. All visitors had to sign in. That was the book.
Multiple people came to visit Mrs. Waters and signed in as
Angela.
There were 5 of them.
Would you remember what they looked like?
That's them. Figured it was some kind of community service they were doing for high school. She was here until the asylum was shut down. Some of the patients were sent to the Sisters of Quiet Mercy over in Riverdale. Others,
Riverdale,
like
they've
Rose,
dropped it in
were
again.
Released. She'd had a psychotic break after her daughter was raped and then killed herself.
That's interesting. Mate, we're following this. So, Angela's been raped. Tabitha's been raped. Imogen's been raped. That's mad, isn't it? It's crazy. Like I said, mate, you think that it's not common? Pff, fucking is, mate. And it's mad. Now, I seen a picture on Twitter saying that Riverdale is set in the same universe as Pretty Little Liars, but the actual picture that they used was Aria, you know, and Emily and you know, and them and Hannah. Now, I'm assuming that might be because of this reference, because it was this week that I seen it, and it might be because of that reference, because, you know, they're in Rosewood, they've gone to Millwood, or the other way around, and now they mentioned Riverdale, so they're tying them all in. They saying the back's fine? Wow, that's mad, mate. On parents' request? Oh, mad.
Kelly Beasley has dropped out of Swan Lake for personal reasons, so I'd like you to dance Odile.
Yo, would you confront your mum? I would, definitely.
I'm so sorry. I shouldn't have said anything.
No, you shouldn't. Let's be honest.
It doesn't matter. Sean doesn't want to get better.
I need you to do me a favor. I'm updating my bio for the board, and I want a new picture to go with it.
By my count,
I count 6.
there are 6. What do you mean? I mean there are 6 different A water signatures.
What you told me about, get your house. My story's like that too. It happened that same night as that fucked up party at Karen's house back in March. I grabbed a bottle of vodka and went to the beach to drink it alone.
Fucking hell, mate, I called it.
And that's basically all I remember. It was the night I got pregnant.
Yo, that's ruthless. I said, what if, and it happened.
Do you think it could have been the same guy?
Maybe.
That's ruthless, that, innit? You know, I can't believe that she has actually been raped on the day that she got pregnant. That's crazy. Now, like, you know, the thing is, she'll have this kid, and it'll be the best thing in her whole entire life. Do you know what I'm saying? But, like, it'll also be, like, a reminder of the pain that she suffered. She's going to go through that tough time, isn't she? You know, on the other hand, yeah, the joy of having a kid, of being a mum, and seeing this baby grow into an adult is going to be the best experience of her life. But it's just weighed down by a little bit of a negative. And I'm not saying that she'd, you know, ever want to change that experience, because it's provided now with this child, which will probably be, like I said, her joy and happiness. But it's ruthless, isn't it? Because if you could go back and say, would you change the fact that, you know, you was raped? Yes. But then if you jump forward and you would say, would you change the fact that you're going to be a mum? It could be a no. Do you know what I mean? And that is where it's like, it's mental, because she's not happy it happened, but now it's happened, she's got something out of it, but it's still ruthless. Do you know what I mean? I think it's mental, me. I still can't get over the fact that, like, I'm watching 2 different shows and, like, stuff and like that is happening in both. Just raises awareness that, like, something that you think don't go on much does. I can't even get my head around it. I don't even know how anyone could do anything like that.
Sorry I'm late.
All good.
Maybe afterwards we can take her out for pizza and you can tell us about how it went in Rosewood.
Let's have a look, mate. What's it say?
My mother chose a surgery for me I didn't need in an unrelenting quest for perfection. I dance for all girls who have been scarred.
If it's not too late, I would love to join the track team.
How's tomorrow morning? 5:30?
Fucking hell, yeah. This show's good in my opinion. Do you know, I really do like it. This is fucking mad, mate. Look at that weirdo back there. Do you know what he reminds me of a bit? Ryan out of High School Musical.
Leave it all on the floor, Bryant.
He loved it, Ryan, didn't he? Singing, dancing, went for it.
You guys made it back. And thank God, because you were incredible.
Daddy, what's up?
Grab your things, we gotta go.
Why? What's wrong?
Your mom was in an accident. She's at the hospital right now.
Oh. Do you know what I mean? Self-inflicted accident, you know. She can't handle the absolute terrible human being that she is, in my opinion. Or A's attacked her. Do you know what I'm saying? Going to be interesting to find out. I actually can't believe that people are like there's so many situations in this episode. I can't believe, like, people are those people. Putting your kid through surgery because you want them to be perfect, and she's going through all this stuff. I mean, there's nothing wrong with her. She's only a little kid, totally fine. Do you know what I mean? Like, you want to just go through more surgery then, yeah, to get rid of the scars from a surgery she didn't even have to go to make her perfect when you was the one that put that there in the first place. You know what I'm saying? Make that make sense, you know? And then she's found out, she's kind of outed her mum. I mean, she can't handle it. She's crying. She's going all crazy. Do you know what I mean? It's mad. And now, obviously, she's been in an accident. So, I don't know if we'll ever find out who's caused that accident. But again, I said it all episode. I didn't like that from her mum. And do you know what? I'm not a big fan of whose parent is it now? Noah's. Do you know what I mean? Like, yeah, okay. Like, she had a little lash out. I could kind of understand that. But, like, you know, she's saying that, you know, you never have to see me. She stormed off like a little kid would have an argument with her parents, innit? Do you know what I mean? Like, you speak to your dad and your mum, we have an argument, and you're like, right, you're never going to have to see me again. That's it. I'll lock myself in the room, and you do you, and I do me. And then you come out the next day, oh, can I have some tea? Do you know what I mean? Like, that's literally, she's gone there, got a new job where you won't have to be in your way. Yeah, she's outside spending all the money on drugs. Do you know what I mean? Like, and she's just been fired from a job where she's stealing drugs. Well, granted, I didn't actually think that she was stealing them in that one, did she? It was A that planted them, and then obviously made her ring up and tell the hospital. But I think this show's decent, me. I'm not going to lie. Like, if we just bullet point the interesting stuff that's going on, you know, somebody's raping people, you know, that is a storyline. It's a reoccurrence as well. We had Angela, Tabitha, and now we've got, like, Imogen, you know. We've got Kelly and Karen. I'm actually thinking it's Kelly, but we still got the Kelly and Karen, yeah? We've got this mouse and the guy following her. Do you know what I mean? Madness. How crazy and weird is that? And then, obviously, like, if we had the fourth one in, there's probably more as well. You could probably, like, drop in individual girl storylines, you know what I mean? Like, but just go with that, yeah? Really good, you know what I mean? You're keeping me entertained anyway. That's all I can say. When I tune into a show, just ask for entertainment. And that is literally what I'm getting, personally, my opinion, from this show so far. Okay, now it's going to wrap up today's episode. Thanks so much for checking out the channel today. Hopefully, you guys enjoyed it. Now, this deep storyline that's going on with Imogen, mate, and, you know, her mum's just been killed, obviously. We've seen it in episode 1. And she's pregnant, and we found out today that she's pregnant from somebody that's raped her. That's absolutely ruthless. And there's something going on in the US right now, isn't there, where have they banned abortions? Like, physically, by law, you can't have one, maybe in certain states. Like, don't, like, quote me on that, but that's what I think that's, like, happening. Now, it's interesting, you know, it's all based on opinions. You could have an opinion that's absolutely correct. Nobody should be taken alive, as people would say. And then, like, I could have an opinion by saying, I think that people should have abortions. It's free will. And it's a discussion. It's a counter. You have your opinion, I have mine. Doesn't mean anybody's right. It's an opinion. But in my opinion, yeah, having abortions, like, should be somebody's choice. And this is a prime example of why I believe that somebody should be allowed to have an abortion. For, like, she's in school, she's raped, and she got pregnant. If she come and said, I don't want this kid, you know, like, at an early stage, you one where a doctor can safely abort it. Now, she went to the school counsellor, didn't she, earlier on in the season, and not meaning, but she just said it, and she would say you're too far into it. Do you know what I mean? Then it's different. Early stages, you find out, you just don't want a life to be ruined by somebody else. You know what I mean? It's not as if that you could say, oh, well, you had sex. You know, you should take the consequences of your own actions. Should have used protection. No, mate. Somebody's raped her. And, like, if I was her, I might be in a position where I wouldn't want that child. Do you know what I'm saying? I think it's crazy, mate, honestly. It actually is madness. Do we think it's the same person that's raping everybody? You know what I mean? Like, because it's happened on 2 different occasions. If you look at it, it probably is the same person. In terms of storyline, it's got to be the same person. You know, we can't be running a storyline with, like, multiple people doing different things. You know, it's too many names, like, too many, you know, people going on. This one with Mouse is very, very interesting, mate. You know, he's well creepy, it's scary. It is confirmed that she was doing it to help him, you know, to help and ease the pain of losing his daughter. But she done it for a one-time thing, and the guy's committed. He's turning up to places, he's following her, he's gone to a school, gone to the bowling, introduced himself as a dad. Do you know what I mean? Madness, mate. It's well scary. She's tried to do one good deed, and now it's turning into well creepy, watch your own back. The thing is, would you be embarrassed? Maybe a tiny bit embarrassed by telling. But I would tell my friends, I'd be like, look, literally, you know, went out trick-or-treating the other day, I heard that this guy, you know, his daughter was killed or whatever's, and I felt sorry for him, and he decided, look, you know, I'll pretend to be her just to ease his grief for one day. But it's turned out the guy's got obsessed with me, he's following me, he's creeping on me, turning up to places, he's there. You know what I mean? I was physically tell someone I wouldn't be keeping that quiet. No chance. Not in a million years, mate. And like I said, I can't believe what Farron, you know, like her mum's done to her. I was saying before when he was talking about the scar, you know, like, should we hide it? Mate, who cares? You know, like, you should be just, like, happy just with the way you are, and you're fine and you're normal. If you had surgery and you needed it and you're totally fine now and you could dance and be a lead in a show, what's a great success story? Turns out she didn't need it and her mum's mad, and now It looks like she's been, you know, involved in an accident. Who knows who caused it? You know, it's decent. Lots of good storylines. We haven't even seen Sheriff Beasley as well. You know, he vowed to make everyone's life a living hell or kill them or something, didn't he? Do you remember? Like when they was in the house and Kelly cut her hand on the glass. You know, he was saying there, "I'm not gonna stop until," you know what I mean? Not seen him once. So it shows how many storylines have been going on and decent that we don't have to focus in on one little thing. So I'm excited to watch the next episode. Thanks for watching today's video. Hopefully you guys enjoyed it. If you did, please smash the like, really helps out. Subscribe if you're new. And as always, I'll catch you in the next one. Cheers, guys.